I've been in China already for 7 years. I've been making videos for a little bit longer than 2 years. And Wuhan is one of the cities that was on my list for a long time. I finally got the chance to be here. So many people told me so many times, you should go to Wuhan. That is a very beautiful, special city here in China. I'm right now in a place that is quite similar to the French concession in Shanghai, because this was also part of French, Russian and British concessions back in time here in Wuhan. So that's why the architecture is quite special here, quite different, a little bit Western somehow. We can still admire very beautiful facades, the ones you can see behind me. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Barcelona. These are very picturesque and beautiful streets. Even trees are welcoming us. You can see on my back the beautiful change of the colors from green to orange. This time of the year is just perfect because the weather is just very comfortable. It's 2 p.m. and not many people around, I believe, because it's a weekday. So people are either working or at school. So we basically have the whole space just for us to walk around and admire. I love the trees and the match it makes with the buildings around. This is very different, especially when you are coming from a city like Shenzhen, where everything is like brand new, and you compare it with a city like Wuhan, with more than 3,000 years of history. That's definitely something. The energy of the streets, the buildings, the facades, the little shops, the buildings are all around. They're just absolutely beautiful. Most of these buildings seems to be like apartment buildings, which means there are people living in there, but they also have little shops on the first floor, as you can see, like cafes. You have perhaps some libraries and some clothes stores. I'm assuming at nighttime this place looks totally different, because I kind of see the sign for some like bars or pubs. I might need to come at night to take a look at this place. Is there people living there, or is like, I don't know, like company, or what is it? Because it's quite special. It's very different. You can tell it's very big. I mean, if we compare for Chinese standards, especially if you live in a place like this that is part of the downtown, this is a very big house. And I got my snack here. This is kung po bean, and it smells so good. This is the moment to have a lunch that is gonna taste very good. So, tastes like heaven, really. People here are taking advantage of the sunlight, and they washed their quilt covers and they are exposing them here to dry them up using the light from the sun in this pedestrian bridge. That always got my attention, like they just put it on the street to dry up. That's interesting. That happens a lot here in China in many cities. China is going through a very deep construction and building process all around the country, every city. Downtown being converted into a beautiful modern spots for business, for traveling, but also China is going through a big restoration process. Like this place where I'm right now, it was not tear down. They're just taking or keeping the old structure and cleaning and making their facades more beautiful, as you can see. These are old kind of Western buildings. There used to be a factory working in this place. Now it's not there anymore, of course, but you can see little shops, little cafes all around. Really well done. I mean, you can tell whoever the designer was really knew how to match the facades with the gardens, the greeneries all around. It's a very, very beautiful place. Wuhan is absolutely, absolutely beautiful. I'm totally in love with this city. Even though China is a country that highly identifies and highly appreciates their own culture, because you can see in modern places they're still using their identity to create spaces. In cities like Shanghai or Wuhan or Guangzhou, these places many years ago had some influence of Western countries. You can find a different kind of Western architecture. Even like old churches and old religious places from different cultures are being kept. When you come to a place like Wuhan, where you can find and feel hundreds of years of history, it's really magic, really awesome. And we're walking around this street, the Han Street, checking all the stores. Very, very, very Western, I have to say. If you can tell, all the small restaurants we've seen so far, like McDonald's, Starbucks. I saw there are other kind of American brands. I feel like in Miami or San Francisco somehow, with all these shops around. Also, the style of every single building, the facade is very Western. The cool thing about this kind of like outdoor shopping mall is like a big street that goes along the river on the other side. So you have buildings and stores on both sides, and the restaurants and the hotels and all the other buildings are along the river, and you can just walk straight and see all the different places you have for shopping and entertainment on both sides of the streets. I feel in another place when I'm visiting this kind of shopping mall, this Han Street. Absolutely recommended though. If you come to Wuhan, you should definitely come and take a look to this place because it's stunning. The more I walk around this city, the more I like it. This shopping mall feels brand new. I don't think it's that old. The vibe is very modern, even though they're trying to keep some kind of like antique buildings to show a little bit that mix or that influence that the Western culture had in Wuhan, in the architecture especially. Behind me you can see the Madame Tussauds museum, the wax museum, and all the different international shops like Sephora, Levi's, Nike, Adidas, Champions, different kind of retail stores that are open and are offering their products in this wonderful street. When I first came to China 7 years ago, it was a little bit different, especially when we talk about the retail scene. China is still very international, especially when we talk about big cities. But now you can see all these brands and all these companies are reaching more and more several cities. You will find Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC, Zara, a Lego store. All these shops, all these brands, all these companies are covering China more and more. This is, of course, kind of a pedestrian street where you can just walk along because it's outdoor. But behind me, you can see a big bridge that is crossing from one side to the other. And they found a way to integrate it somehow with the look and the structure of this big outdoor shopping mall. So even though It's a large shopping mall. It's not being interrupted at all because of the bridge. So what they did is just continuing the extension of this shopping mall underneath the bridge. Today is our second day here in the beautiful city of Wuhan, and we are going to some other wonderful, super interesting places. One of them is this little church behind me. It's just an exhibition. Actually, it says like it's a Catholic building exhibition. People are not allowed to enter. It's a church that is located at the top of a small hill in this quite nice park. I'm checking this church was built in 1888. The Christmas tree here. Christmas tree are not popular in China, at least it's not part of the Chinese culture or their identity. But nowadays we see more and more, mostly like in big places like shopping malls or hotels. But usually a regular Chinese home will not set up a Christmas tree. You can see a lot of Catholic elements all around the city. That is a nun in the entrance of one of these places in this park. But I'm really surprised, like you can see all these churches, chapels, nuns, crosses, and even Christian institutions like YMCA we saw yesterday in the other place where we went to. That's super interesting. Huge influence that Catholic religion had back in time here in Wuhan. When I left the hotel this morning, it was quite cold, but it's almost 11 and it's getting a little bit warmer, which is great. But when you leave the morning with a heavy jacket like mine and you just go outside, it's like, you're melting. This place for some reason has a very South Korea vibe. There are a few neighborhoods in South Korea very popular for tourists. This reminds me of those places a lot. Like the walls, the roofs of the houses like this, the wood, the colors. And now to finish our trip in Wuhan, we came to one of the most beautiful and better looking parts of the city. River behind me, and at night the scene changed totally. It looks totally different from what you can see at daytime. It looks more alive, especially because of this LED light show that you can see in the back. This is all a huge line, a very long line of buildings all the way until there. If you ever had the chance to come to China, Wuhan should be one of the cities you should include on your tour. If you've been to the city before and you have any recommendation, please do let me know in the comments down below, because I think 2 days is definitely not enough to cover all what this city offers. So let me know what places you think I should visit during my next trip to Wuhan. If you've never been here before, do let me know also in the comments down below what you think of this beautiful city. And also remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Folks, I'm gonna be wandering around nice and beautiful places here in China and documenting about it. I will also be Instagramming my day-to-day and my trips in this awesome country. Feel free to follow me and leave your comments and impression over there about life in China. I will leave the link to my account in the description down below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my follow-up stories about what's going on in this part of the world. If you think there might be someone else interested in these kind of videos, please consider sharing. My name is Rafael, thanks for watching and stay safe until next time.